Hello, today I'm going to show you how to write a polynomial in standard form. What I mean with this is basically getting rid of any parentheses in case there are parentheses, and also making sure that the terms in the polynomial are arranged in descending order, taking into account the degree, that means the exponent. In this expression, let's begin using the distributive property to get rid of the parentheses right here. So I will begin multiplying the -5 by each of the terms inside this parenthesis. -5 times a to the third power, or a cubed, would be -5, and I just go ahead and put the a cubed. That's one. The next one, this is done. Let's go to this one. This is just an a, so it will be -5 times a. I just put the number, the -5 is the coefficient, and I bring the a there. Now, I have two terms right here that are not involved with this distribution, so I'm just bringing them down for a and the -3. Now, let's see if we can find like terms right here that we can combine. Terms sharing a letter doesn't necessarily mean that they are like terms, because we also need to pay attention to the powers or to the exponents. I know here we have three terms that have an a, however, in one it's raised to the third power, and here remember that when there's no actual exponent, we consider that as raising it to the first power. So here, this and these both have a as a variable, they have the same degree, so we can combine this and this using the sign that we have here. For -5, that will result in a negative number, -1. However, coefficients that are 1, they don't need to be written, okay? We understand that just by having -a 1 could be placed right there, so I'm going to leave it like that. Now, let's bring down this term right here that cannot be combined with anything else, and also here the -3. However, there's one more thing that we need to do. We need to order the terms according to their power, to the exponent, to the degree, always beginning with the highest to the lowest. So that means here would be the first one, -5a cubed, then we have a, and finally -3. So this would be the standard form of the polynomial right here. Let's take a look at one more example. Here we have parentheses right here, so I'm going to use the distributive property to get rid of these parentheses again, multiplying the -2 times each of the terms inside these parentheses. -2 times c, I would just write that as -2c. Negative times negative will give me positive. -2 times -5 then would be +10. Now let me bring down the terms that we had previously right here. Now let's see if there are any like terms that we can combine. This is a constant, a standalone number that has a fixed value, the only one right here, so that cannot be combined with anything else. I know that here I have three terms that have the variable of c. However, do you notice that all of them are raised to different powers? So that means they cannot be considered like terms, and we cannot combine them. So the only thing left for us to do now is just putting the terms in descending order according to the degree, to the exponent. So that means that we would begin with this one, then this one, and always the constant at the end, and that would be the standard form for this polynomial. I hope these two explanations were useful. Good luck in your test.